is Valley News Live at 4.
Breaking news this afternoon, a woman is now in custody after police say she stabbed 3 people and barricaded herself inside a car in downtown Fargo for several hours. The call came in just before 1 this afternoon in the parking lot of Mexican Village, closing down a long stretch of Main Avenue. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley has been following this breaking story for us all afternoon. She joins us live with the latest. Bailey.
Stacey, the SWAT team is no longer here on the scene, but you can see there's a lot of Fargo police officers here still now just finally getting to process the scene, collect evidence, and try and piece together what exactly led up to this afternoon's stabbing of 3 people. Stacey, at this point, all we know about those 3 victims is that they sustained non-life-threatening injuries, and we know that the suspect, when she was taken into custody, she was taken in safely, and there were no injuries either to her or any Fargo police officers. But Stacey, I kind of want to walk you through what happened here, as this was a very active scene from beginning to end. Fargo police continuing to talk to that female suspect over an intercom, asking her, if you can hear us, if you're injured, if you're not injured, please show us a hand, roll down your window, trying to get her to communicate with them, get some sort of trust built with her. At one point, police were heard over the intercom saying that they couldn't hear her, asking her again to roll down her window, open the door so they could hear her, telling her that she wasn't going to be hurt, that police officers just wanted to help her. A little bit later, a member of the Fargo Police Department came over to us, the media, and some bystanders right here in this spot, telling us that the suspect indicated to officers, she pointed towards us and asked us to move. So police came over here, they asked us to move out of her sight, and about 10 minutes after that is when that female suspect did surrender to police, and she was taken into police custody. You could see in a video that she was wrapped around in a blanket, as reports indicate that she was either partially or fully naked when this incident occurred. Fargo police say that she's now being questioned by officers, and they expect to arrest her. As to what she could be charged with, police say that all depends on what kind of evidence is collected here and what the victims tell them later. It could vary anywhere from aggravated assault to attempted murder. Again, all just depending on what kind of evidence is collected while police continue this investigation. For now, live in downtown Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, Bailey, thanks so much. New for you now at 4. It's the news fully vaccinated people have been waiting for. They no longer need to physically distance from others or wear a mask, both outside and inside in most situations. That's according to updated guidance from the CDC. However, the agency says fully vaccinated people should still wear masks in these situations while on public transportation, in healthcare settings, at a business that requires them, if they have a compromised immune system, or if they have COVID symptoms. Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the moment has finally come for Americans to return to normalcy.
If you are fully vaccinated, you can start doing the things that you had stopped doing because of the pandemic. We have all longed for this moment when we can get back to some sense of normalcy.
The CDC defines someone as being fully vaccinated if 2 weeks have passed after the second dose in a 2-dose vaccine, or 2 weeks after the single-dose vaccine. Now here's Hutch with a first look at your forecast. Hutch.
Stacey, good evening. Hello, everyone. Some thunderstorms dancing across the valley. As we take a quick look at that radar, we're seeing them most abundant, with quite a bit of lightning stretching from Langdon through Devil's Lake and just to the west of you in Jamestown. A line of much needed rain for the Devil's Lake Basin and the James River Valley. We'll start there. Jamestown, these showers are moving east at 20 miles per hour, so they'll be in your neighborhood here within a half hour or so. Lemoore, those showers pushing to the north and east at about 20 miles per hour. Look at Harvey stretching up into parts of the Benson County area. These storms swirling around the Devil's Lake area. Again, much needed moisture from Maddock pushing into Devil's Lake. And we do have a little bit of activity pushing its way through northwest Minnesota, but it is more hit and miss there. Grafton, expect another thunder shower to move over you in the coming 15 minutes or so. Temperatures near 70 to 75 degrees. It's warmest near the international border. Your planner for Fargo. Well, it looks like we cannot rule out a few passing sprinkles here and there. Decreasing wind, but it stays cloudy into the overnight hours. More thunderstorms this evening and more in your Friday forecast. I'll have the details on all of that Stacy, here in just a few moments.
Thanks so much, Hutch. 3 former officers charged with aiding and abetting in the death of George Floyd won't stand trial for nearly a year. A Hennepin County judge moved the trial from August of this year to March 2022, saying there needs to be more space between that trial and the June 25th sentencing for Derek Chauvin. The 3 former Minneapolis police officers are charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder and aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. Last month, the jury found Chauvin guilty of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in Floyd's death. Minnesota could be a step closer to legalizing marijuana tonight. The House of Representatives is voting on a bill to legalize cannabis for adult use. The legislation would also expunge the records of people convicted of non-violent marijuana-related offenses. This is the first time the issue has come to the floor for a vote, but the bill's journey could come to an end soon. While it had bipartisan support in 12 House committees and is expected to pass tonight, it will likely die in the Republican-controlled Senate. Lawmakers are set to convene in about 20 minutes. Stick with Valley News Live for the latest from St. Paul. It's National Police Week, and the North Dakota State Capitol building windows are lit in a thin blue line in a show of support. The Attorney General's office is using this display to pay tribute to 65 fallen peace officers in North Dakota, both past and present. Last year, a Grand Forks police officer was killed in the line of duty. Now, Officer Cody Holte's name is etched in stone at the Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. The 29-year-old officer was killed by gunfire assisting sheriff's deputies serving an eviction notice. Last May, Holte was a 3-year member of the department and a National Guardsman. Lieutenant Derek Zimmel reflects on Holte's sense of humor and dedication to his young family and the community.
His entire life was about service. And one of the quotes that's attributable to him is he served so others wouldn't have to.
Now, Cody Holte is being honored nationally during this police week. He's the second officer in Grand Forks PD history to be lost in the line of duty and memorialized here. Operators of the Colonial Pipeline say they've made substantial progress in restarting the system. The pipeline was shut down last Friday following a cyber attack and came back online yesterday. Fuel has been flowing to most of the markets it serves. However, industry executives and government officials are warning it'll take time to refill gasoline supplies depleted by panic buying, an ongoing truck driver shortage, and that cyber attack. President Biden echoed those concerns in his remarks this afternoon.
This is not like flicking on a light switch. This pipeline is 5,500 miles long. It had never been fully shut down its entire history.
The president said he had no comment when he was asked if he was briefed on Colonial paying that ransom. This comes amid reports that the company paid nearly $5 million to the hackers. Mixing coronavirus vaccines may increase the short-term side effects. That's from a British study of 800 people 50 and older. They were given a dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine followed by the Pfizer shot, or vice versa, or 2 doses of the same vaccine. People who received mixed doses were more likely to develop side effects compared to those who got the same vaccine. Researchers say the adverse reactions were found to be short-lived and there were no other safety concerns. If you are looking for places to get the vaccine, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. Some Moorhead residents celebrated Arbor Day today by freshening up a local park. They gathered to plant trees and shrubs for the new food forest at MB Johnson Park. Organizers say the food forest will enhance the ecosystem and make the city more resilient by offering food for people, providing habitat for wildlife, and improving water quality. In about 5 to 8 years, these plants will have fruit like plums and apples that'll be open to the public to enjoy. Around 75 people signed up to plant today and help improve the community.
I just think it's a really progressive approach to be able to not only do something that's good for the community, good for the environment, but we'll literally be giving back to people as they come out and visit the park.
Those volunteers will plant more than 100 fruit trees today, along with about 40 shrubs of berries. A charity event celebrating athletes of all abilities is coming to downtown Fargo. Over the next 2 days, athletes with and without special needs will compete together to win prizes up to $7,500. The idea for the games comes from Fargo native and New York Jets center Connor McGovern, wanting to give back to those with special needs. The competing events include deadlifts, sit and reach tests, slam ball toss, and a 2,000-meter row. The game's executive director says everyone is invited to compete, even if you've never done it before.
Doesn't matter if you've done it once, twice, or never. I've never competed, and I'm going to live this mission this weekend.
Masks are not required, but attendance is limited to 600 people. 2nd Avenue North will be closed from Broadway down to Gate City Bank. You can find more information and a link to register on our website, valleynewslive.com. It's a reunion more than a year in the making. Some Fargo kindergartners were able to visit their friends at a senior center for the first time since the pandemic started. Eagles Elementary School students paid a visit to their adopt-a-school partner, Touchmark, at Harwood Groves. This morning, kindergartners made art with sidewalk chalk on the outdoor patio area so Touchmark residents could safely watch from inside as they ate lunch.
The kids just bring them so much joy when they're able to interact with them, and it really makes the kids have a great time interacting with the elderly.
Eagles and Touchmark have been adopt-a-school partners since the elementary school opened in 2016. During normal years, students and staff frequently visit Touchmark to participate in a variety of activities with the residents. Coming up, Warner Brothers has released a teaser trailer for an upcoming Friends reunion. We'll have those details after the break.
And a few showers today captured on this time lapse in the Grand Forks area. Welcome rainfall to the west as well. We'll track some thunder tonight and have details on what you can expect as more thunder is in the forecast for your Friday. Your hour-by-hour details are straight ahead.